Hey y'all, welcome to Exaltation of the Cave Oracles. I'm your guide, Locke, and I hope y'all are doing well. So as you can see, I'm in the middle of doing some stuff. So I have some time to do a reading, okay? And what inspired this reading actually is from one of my favorite platforms that has helped me understand, narcissistic abuse, toxic people, and also not only that, myself within these dynamics as well. It's so much confirmation of the way that I felt, right? But I couldn't really put the words to it, right? All the things that I've experienced that I didn't quite understand. Like I knew it was wrong, but I didn't have the words, I didn't have the particular knowledge to hold on to what I know that was within myself, right? So anyway, her name is Jill Wise, and the platform on YouTube is called Enlightened Target. Hello, Jill. I hope to meet you one day. You're amazing. I love your work. You've helped me so much, and thank you so much. And so what she wrote, or not so much what she wrote, but what she posted was something that inspired this reading. And it says, sometimes as an adult, you have to decide, this is the last time these people are gonna make me feel this way, and stand on it, whether that be family, a relationship, or a friendship. And I have to add to that too is like work, even if somewhere where you live, all types, right? So relationships doesn't necessarily mean, what I was about to say, your friends, your family, right? This is anybody that you have a bond with. So if you're in school, your classmates, your teachers, right? Whenever you're interacting with another person, that's a relationship, okay? All right? And so we have all different ones. And so with this reading, I really want to talk to people who have issues like, letting go. And one of the reasons why you have issues specifically for this reading is because of the type of, people that you're in a relationship with. And so for this reading, what we're talking about is very, very, as they would say, it's low vibrational, yes, but these are people who engage in a lot of gaslighting and passive aggressiveness. And what I'm hearing is manipulation and deceit. Okay, I'm hearing they want to hold on to you, but they don't want to treat you well. And I'm hearing this is by design and on purpose. With every stab of the sword, there is intention behind it. It's just born out of, just a moment, right? Like, how like they say a crime of passion, the types I talk about, it's like beyond that, okay? Because of the way that they do it. They have plenty of time to think about what they're doing, and they still do what they do. And how do we know this? Because again, when it comes to manipulation, when it comes to gaslighting, okay, that is a slow and steady gradual thing that has to happen over and over and over again, okay? And so and like I said, and also the intention behind it, all right? And so yeah, these people that you're dealing with, that's what makes it so hard, because there's not enough concrete evidence, right, for you to leave the relationship, right? And what is that concrete evidence? The concrete evidence is basically what society tells us is what makes up a toxic relationship. And the old ways, should I say. And one of the things is like high drama, dramatic stuff, you know what I mean? High toxicity where it's right in front of your face, right? Somebody maybe hits you, somebody, it basically is obvious, right? In psychology, what they would call it is overt, right? It's like right in your face. But the types that I speak about, and also the way that our society is going, especially in America, people are more engaging in what is called covert tactics, okay? And one of the reasons, like overall, that this comes from is a level of shame, all right? So the people that I talk about, they don't like themselves, and they're also fearful of what society and what people will think about who they are, especially when they engage in such hideous things. They don't want the world to know who they truly are, right? And so, but at the same time, it's almost like they have a compulsion to hurt other people. And why is that? Because the types that I speak about, it's like they have an addiction to the negativity. They have an addiction of the results that they get when they hurt people or when they engage in these tactics. And especially somebody who I'm talking about, you, Divine One, is somebody that they can actually, you know, come up off of, right? It's not so much like what I'm hearing is like sociopathy where they're completely destructive and they just walk away. No, what I'm seeing today, what we're talking about is actually highly narcissistic people. So the basis of them is like they're narcissists, but they can also have those other two things attached to them, and that goes in when they start engaging in manipulation tactics, is when they start becoming more of a narcissistic sociopath, narcissistic psychopath. But at the base of these people, what's the common word is that they're a narcissist, right? And so the people I'm talking about today, you're dealing with very highly narcissistic people. These are people who cannot thrive in life unless they are attached to somebody else. But in that attachment, it has to be negative, right? And how they learn to actually fulfill themselves off of that type of relationship is to engage in these covert tactics. And so what I'm seeing here is like, you guys who I'm speaking to today, you guys are really cutting off people now, right? I'm also seeing some of you guys doing actual shadow work, so congratulations. It might not actually be people really in your life, but what I'm seeing mostly, they're showing me the number of 90% of the people who I'm speaking to who will resonate with this video. You guys are physically getting away from people in your life. You're physically blocking people out of your life. 10% of you guys are actually, it's just shadow work. I'm hearing Mercury energy, okay? All right, I'm hearing like, so how you can do that if you don't do shadow work like yourself. What I'm seeing like a way to equate that shadow work is also you're gonna make strides in your therapy when you for the ones who do go to therapy, okay? But like I said, so it's therapy, shadow work, but for the most part, we're going to talk about people who are really cutting people off. But what I'm seeing is the ones who are doing shadow work, what we're going to talk about today is that this is going to resonate with a relationship that you are doing shadow work on, right? And it's going to help you move forward in your shadow work. Heck yeah. All right. Awesome. So yeah, most of y'all are cutting people off and things like that. And so the people who you're doing shadow work and you cut people off, these cards right here is going to show like, you know, what traits that you were displaying that, you know, caused this rift in this relationship, okay? Also, for the people who are actually cutting people out, this is an energy that you're displaying right now. This is a trait that you have, and these people, what they're doing is trying to gaslight you. They're trying to make you stop you from seeing who they are, basically. You know what I mean? But what I'm hearing is that you have more than enough evidence to show that these people are not for you. And what I'm hearing is definitely is how they made you feel through their actions. What actions attached to that? What actions made you feel that, yo, this person is not for me? What happened? Okay? And we're gonna go down and see, but you know, there's so many of you, so I can only touch on a certain amount of people. But if you like what I'm putting down and you want to do some shadow work, you know, shadow work reading, or you know, you're having an issue like this in your life where you're kind of questioning, like, should I cut them off? Should I cut them off? Or basically you are cutting them off, like I said, or you have cut them off, but you're still kind of like, should I have done that, or should I be doing this? And what I'm hearing is to tell you is that whoever resonates with this, yes, you are making a very good decision. And for the ones who do shadow work, you made a phenomenal decision, right? Because like I said, you're dealing with the manipulators. And also for everybody who's resonating with this, I'm being called to say that these are an up-levelment. These experiences are for you to stand your ground in what you know, right? And in your intuition. Because these types of relationships, they want to muddle up your intuition. That's why they play the way they play, right? They want you to be questioning yourself, right? And what does that questioning do? It makes you stay so that they can keep making you feel like shit, but keep on, you know, feeding off of you and stuff like that, right? So these cards, like I said, these are traits that, you know, that they were feeding off of. These are attacking. And then also if we have some ones in the negative, these are something, because I see for some of you guys, they're showing me 85% of you, it's just that like, this was like almost like a hidden trait that you elevated in, right? And it's almost like you threw people off, right? And so now it's like almost like they want to attack it, right? This is something that you overcame, as if we see it in the reversal. But we'll see. It said now you're a warrior. All right. Let's see how you did it. I told you. They didn't see it coming. They did not see it coming, bro. They're like, what the fuck? We didn't know that you can fight for yourself, right? Now, you know what I'm hearing? Everybody manifests devil energy differently. Oh. And then what I'm hearing is that, but I had to find the light. I had to learn to fight. Ooh. Right? You had to learn this, right? And it says it, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. We were just talking about it. You shock people, and that's why you're feeling so much and getting so much backlash, or why you did get so much backlash from these people, is because you are actually a warrior. You stood up for yourself. You've shown, what I'm hearing is an elevation and a control of your Lilith energies, right? Your Mars energy as well, right? These are your protector, but this is also traits where people put you down for it, right? And what it says strength and skill, discipline and toughness of will, right? You didn't conform, and they thought that they thought that you were going to conform. And why is that? Because you're so pure heart. And I'm hearing because you are so passive, because you are so willing to work within a group, you're so willing to compromise, is what I'm hearing, right? So these people thought that, hey, if I can get this to be confusing and stuff like that, and make them basically look to me because they're confused, and, look to me like, oh, what's going on here, right? Is what I'm hearing, then they could control you, right? And I'm hearing it only worked for a little bit, right? You were just like, hell nah, right? Is what I'm hearing. Eventually you're just like, no, but you question it at the same time, like, did I do something wrong? Was I right? And it's just like, yes, right? It says self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. That's where that compassion is. Now, I want to tell you too, they're telling me to tell you that trait that you have, right? Your willingness to self-sacrifice, right? I'm hearing your stoicism, right? Your lack of reaction, because like I said, a lot of people are so used to, getting people to react in such a dramatic way, right? And you didn't do that. You, again, it says transcending predictable behavior. You every time that these people attacked you, you behaved in a way that they just didn't understand, right? What I'm hearing is Greg Hartley from the Behavior Panel. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope to meet you guys too. Oh my gosh, I love you. So people who are into behavior analysis, the Behavior Panel is awesome. Greg Hartley says, I hope I get it right. I'll get it right one day. But basically what he says is that when it comes to toxic people and things like that, they have learned to, over time, they just learned that A plus B always equals C, right? So every time they do one behavior, every time, whatever they're wanting, that's the A, and they do B, that's the behavior, right? They always get C, which is a reaction from their target, which is from you, right? They always get they always get somebody feeling guilty. Basically what I'm hearing is they always get somebody to, lower themselves, is what I'm hearing, right? For the sake of the relationship. That's that self-sacrifice of conquering the ego. This is your willingness to put yourself aside for the greater good. And toxic people, they play on that, you know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I just want to let you guys know is do not ever suppress that type of trait, because when you keep doing that, basically you come you engage in this type of behavior, right? It's a good ingredient for healthy relationships, right? So don't ever get down on you whenever you self-sacrifice, right? Whenever you put yourself on the back burner, okay? I'm hearing and seeing that some of y'all, some of that guilt and anger, right? Of, pouring into relationship and realizing that somebody is like fucking stabbing you in the back, somebody's on some shit. So that will help you with that too from here on out, is give freely, all right? Because in that giving of freely, of giving yourself, of giving your energy, whatever that is, money, sex, whatever that is, right? All that is a testimony as to how you show up in your relationships, right? You show up dope as fuck. Who you gave it to, it really don't matter, right? Let them have that little thing. Let them have that. You know what I'm saying? All that matters is that you know how you showed up and you the bomb diggity. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so with that being said too, don't ever get rid of that self-sacrificing when it's for the greater good. Okay. It's fine. It's all right. Again, and now you're learning who to do that with, who not to do that with. Right. Okay. And so that's what I'm seeing here, is that these people, that's what you elevated in, is standing up for yourself and playing life the way that you want to play it. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of Heyoka stuff right in here. Okay, I'm getting a lot of here we go, Jerry Wise, my dude, here we go, right? Self-differentiation. I'm hearing a lot of autonomy, okay? And these groups, these people, these relationships, putting you down for that, for you standing up for yourself when they attack you, and also for not behaving in the way that they want you to behave. You know what I'm saying? That's some bullshit, So let's go down a little bit more and see like exactly what happened here. Yeah, this is your strength and your will is what I'm hearing. Toughness and will and your discipline. All right. And not only that, what I'm hearing is your skill. Some people are very, very angry at the fact that you're building yourself. So people are into self-development, right? Okay. It's just that what I'm seeing too is almost like people trying to grab onto somebody, and the person that they're grabbing onto keeps slipping through their fingers, and that's the trickster, right? And that makes sense because when it comes to toxic people, when they are trying to feed off of somebody, when they're trying to manipulate somebody, right? That's what they want. They want you to be fixed. They want you, they want to be able to hold on to you. But when you're a trickster in their eyes, when you're transcending, when you're not acting the way that they want you to act, they are, it confuses them, okay? Because remember, like I said, that's what Greg Hartley says. It's like the organism does what the organism has always done to feed itself. I think that's what he says, right? It's just, they're like, the toxic people I speak about, they're just, it's almost like you want to look at them as like a mindless predator, right? And they're just so used to being in a certain state. A plus B always equals C. So when they come across somebody like you, they're not used to it. What I'm seeing is consciously and subconsciously that you guys have been elevating. You don't realize like your mutable energy is, I'm hearing, on fleek. Your mutable energy is beautiful, and that's what you need in these types of relationships, because that's what they hold on the negative side. They hold negative mutable energy. It's like once you feel like that you're steady and you're fixed and everything like that, then they want to move you, right? They move the rules, right? The song that I got for this, by the way, I know that we're 18 minutes in, but the inspiration song that I got for this is Decode by Paramore, right? All right. So this is like them always switching it, right? That's what she said. How can I ever know what's right when you're always clouding up my mind? I can't lose this winning fight all the time. If you're a man at all, right? Well, I'll figure this one out on my own, right? Because that makes sense when it comes to conflict in relationships, right? It's supposed to be an equal give and take. But then when you notice that somebody's being manipulative, somebody's, moving in a shiesty way, that communication is very, very fuzzy, right? And then I'm hearing, how did we get here? I used to know you so well, right? And so that's what I'm seeing is like for both parties, right? How did we get here? I used to know you so well. Yeah, so people are trying to act like, again, the fact that you changed, the fact that you brought out this other side of your personality and it's so strong. They're smear campaigning you. I'm seeing a lot of victimization here. Yeah, trying to get other people to also be, because what I'm hearing is that your energy is actually quite intimidating, and so they're trying to trigger other people's intimidation, but I'm hearing it's not going to work. Yeah, it's gonna backfire when somebody tries to smear campaign you. Also, what I'm seeing too is you know, how did we get here, right? People trying to act like they don't know why the relationship has, you know, deteriorated, you know. And what I'm seeing is that now they're playing out certain in the background here, yeah, they're playing out certain traits where actually people will be like, oh, I know why the Divine One left you. I know why that relationship broke down. Yeah, there's a lot of that happening. I'm hearing and seeing that 85% of you guys are going to see this playing out right in front of you or hear about it. Okay, I'm seeing, yes, definitely some people coming towards you in various ways is what I'm seeing. Hold on, let me just put that in a little bit, reel it in, because I see so much, so I don't want to get to Pisces, Mercury and Pisces. Hold on. All right, let me ground it. I don't want to keep jumping. And so, yeah, so that's what's happening right now. A lot of smear campaigning, a lot of trying to recruit flying monkeys, and the flying monkeys are going to turn on the cave dweller, the toxic person. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, and so what we were talking about, how did we get here? I think I used to know you so well. So yeah, it goes with what Jill Wise was saying, right? It's so hard sometimes to leave people who you have built a bond with, right? Especially when society tells you that you're supposed to be self-sacrificing, that you're supposed to, you know, compromise within your relationships, right? So this is where, again, when it comes to unhealthy relationships, you do not have to follow those rules of society. That's what's going to keep you bound to these motherfuckers, all right? So fuck them. Let them victimize themselves. Let them smear campaign you. Who gives off? Oh. So let's see what's going on. What's happening in the relationship that made you? What's the covert tactic? What's the covert tactic? The Lovers in reverse. 9 of Wands. Hold on one second. Lovers in reverse. Ace of Cups. 9 of Wands. Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. Hold on one second. We got some manipulation coming on here. They told me to show you the bottom of the deck. Look at, see? Yeah, manipulating. And what do I see with the manipulation? I literally see some of you guys, yeah, some of you guys who know, or maybe not so much know, that there are people who do black magic. It's real, like little black magic. Yes, they're going to try to do black magic on you. But what I'm seeing is that the backfire, as we were talking about, right? It's not working. Okay. You're gonna find some dark magicians coming towards you. I'm hearing like they want to work with you. Okay. These are people, again, what I'm seeing with this Lovers in reverse and this 9 of Wands. Here, I'm going to see if we can put it in a way where I can show you how I'm seeing it. Look at this 9 of Wands looking at the Lovers in reverse. Okay. They wanted you to basically reach for their love. It's like a donkey and a carrot type thing. So this would be the 9 of Wands. This is you, right? Always trying for their love and it's not working, right? That's what I'm hearing. And how do we see this? Always trying for their love, right? Ace of Cups, pouring your heart out. And you getting depleted by it, right? See, look at it. not feeling right, not looking right. These people are highly, they understand it. And that's their manifestation. That's what they wanted, right? For you to keep, that's what I'm hearing, donkey and a carrot, for you to chase them. But what I'm hearing is that you didn't chase them. What I'm hearing is that people trying to act like they are having a better life without you so that you can chase them. What I'm hearing is like people wanting to, basically what I'm hearing is induce conversation. Yep. I'm hearing them basically like, this is the energy. How did I hurt you? Why isn't this working? Why aren't we friends anymore? Why is there a rift? You know? And they wanted you to pour your heart out. Okay? And why did they want you to pour your heart out? Because they wanted to know that their stuff is working on you. They wanted to know that they can affect you, right? But not only could they affect you, but are you still going to stay within the relationship? And this is how you look when you stay getting fucked up. It's like what I'm hearing is like you're not loyal. So a lot of you guys, yep, here we go. A lot of you guys heard like, or they made you feel that way. Testing your loyalty, and I'm hearing also testing your gumption. So for people who have been into self-development, all right, maybe you talked about it, right? That warrior, okay? Like you're not, you know, you don't, you know, some people have seen that you have overcome toxic relationships, right? And so now you have people around you who are trying to be a trickster in a way, is what I'm hearing, right? What I'm seeing and hearing is that they're trying to, again, affect you in a negative way and try to have a conversation with them, right? Pour your heart out like, hey, this isn't right. I don't like the way that you're treating me, right? But then they want to work it out. This is weird. You know what the weird, okay, because you don't have to be having sex with them, but this is basically the energy, right? It's almost like that scenario. What we hear is like, you know, people who are highly toxic and stuff like that, they're in a relationship, right? Like lovers, they're in a relationship and they're highly toxic. They have these big blowout fights and all of a sudden they have that like that makeup sex and stuff like that and everything's all good. Like that's what I'm seeing is like, you know, for 85% of y'all, like that's what you come across is like these people who think that like, you know, toxicity is like love, is like they want to break up to make up type shit, right? But they're draining you at the same time. And they did not expect for you to be the warrior at all. To tell them, I'm here, hit the road, Jack, right? So listen to and watch the lyrical video of Decode, right? And let's see how else did they come here? I'm seeing like a lot of victimization here. Induced conversation, right? Like I said, we'll just circle back to that. They told me is like people wanting to know like, why did you block them? Why did you do, you know what I mean? Why aren't you talking to them anymore? Why? And they know why. They just want to see what you know so they can gaslight you. They, again, goes with the Ace of Cups, right? And it says the awakening, emotional awakening, right? People purposely poking at you to see if they are hurting you, right? To see if they are hurting you. And then again with this Nine of Wands, are you going to stay? That's some like immature shit. Like we said, narcissistic. And what I'm seeing too with the black magic, them wanting you, like hitting you with the black magic and then kind of looking at you like, is it working? Are you going to say something about it? You know, are you saying something about it? Are you struggling? You're persevering, right? You're struggling. When they victimize themselves, I'm seeing a lot of backfires happening. They say yes. I say a lot of backfires here. Five of Pentacles. I'm in a park a lot, so they just walk by. And so, yeah. So let's see what else we got here. Seven of Wands. Yeah, they want to make you feel like you're crazy is what I'm hearing. Yeah. And the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We see this. They said to hold this up. So it looks like he is fighting somebody, right? Look at all those sticks, right? You can't see who's on the other end. This is the gaslighting. And we see it, codependency, right? They told me to show you the way that it is on the, how it comes out. You see how the people in the pictures, like they're facing away from each other, right? So what I'm seeing is that, like, basically it's gaslighting. They wanted you to not see what they were doing. They wanted you to be codependent on the relationship, is what I'm hearing. You're emotional. That is so weird. Like, what they're showing me is people who throw stones and hide their hands, right? But it's an obvious, what I'm hearing is like a trigger into that primal thing of when it comes to toxicity in a relationship, what a healthy person will do, right? Because they can't live in the toxicity, so they address it. And they wanted you to be codependent on their version of reality, right? It's all just in your head. Just stop fighting. Just stop, you know what I mean? Just give up, you know? Be codependent, neglect yourself is what I'm hearing. Yeah, and on the bottom, look at this. They're coming in very, very fast, okay? You're going to get one after another. For the ones who have cut a lot of people off, they're coming in, all right? Also, what I see, too, that is the confirmation of the black magic as well, okay? And we got the Queen of Wands, okay? And this is your confidence, as we see. This is you moving forward. They want to stop you. Yeah, and it's not working. That's what I see right here. It's just not working. It's too much. So now they want to be your friend, is what I'm hearing. Hey, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. You know, look at. They thought they got away with something, right? That's what these people are. Like, I'm hearing that word, they're playing in your face. Yes. Playing in your face. And that's because you hold this type of person, right? This type of personality as well, is what I'm hearing. It says romance, charm, creativity, emotional sensitivity. Yeah, these are people who basically, they wanted to control your insides. They wanted to control your emotional well-being. And how they knew that they were able to control it is like the way that they affected you. So with that being said, what I want to tell you guys is something is this. Use that. Somebody wants to affect you. Don't be ashamed of the fact that they made you feel some sort of way. Use that. That's an indicator that something's up. Where the fuck did that shit come from? From them playing in your face. That's what it is. All right? And so now you have more evidence as to who these people are and what's making you feel some sort of way. They're backwards ass shit, okay? They did not expect you to really stand up for yourself, and they're really victimizing themselves. They feel very victimized right now. And what I'm hearing is that you're shining so much, that's the best way to put it, is that you're standing your ground so much, you're so strong that some people, like I said, now they want to be in your corner, but they feel like they played so well, and also the fact that, again, you weren't reactive, right? So they think that, you know, there's nothing wrong, right? They think that you didn't catch on to what they did, but they want to know, right? It's like something that they kind of do know, that you know something, but they're not entirely sure. And the only way for them to really, really know is by trying to do that induced conversation, right? What's going on? I feel like there's some rift between us, right? I feel like there's something going on, you know, between us, is what I'm hearing, you know? Or why did you walk away? Why did you block me, you know? Acting like they want to have like a really good relationship with you. I'm also seeing some people trying to point out like all the good times that they had with you and everything like that. They're like, I thought that everything was great. What happened? Yeah, we have Justice. Yeah, and this is your future here. You just keep going. The only way to balance this situation is for you to walk away from these people in your mind, body, and spirit, is what I'm hearing. All right? This is fairness. This is truth. This is balance, right? And it says right here with the Six of Swords, it says transition, moving on, progress, personal growth within your mind. All right? You're moving away from what is considered acceptable and what is not acceptable. Something that I've been learning, this is called your own personal values. You're learning the difference between values versus what's the other thing called, is ethics. Okay? All right? What toxic people want us to do is hold on to ethics and fuck our values, right? Your values are what you as an individual personally value, right? And everybody's different. And when it comes to self-respect and self-worth and things like that, everybody is on a different level, okay? And what I'm seeing is that for 90% of you guys here, that a lot of you guys are on a personal growth and a transition in your mind, okay? You're moving away from outdated beliefs and things like that, right? Okay? And you what I'm hearing is that you're also chasing other people away, all right? You're making other people want to do personal growth too. So what I'm seeing is 90% as well as what they're showing me, 90% that you guys stand in your truth. You guys stand in your boundaries, okay? That you're actually going to change a lot of people, right? Because you're standing on stuff and you're going to make them, basically have to switch up is what I'm hearing, right? You're shining a light on them, like, no, I'm not going to sit here and deal with your shit. Like, I'm not going to be in a toxic relationship. And when you stand in your in your values and things like that, it really does make other people, look at themselves, okay? You're making people look at themselves like, I shouldn't have done that. Yep. I shouldn't have done that. See? Eight of Swords. Look at that. See? In their mind. I shouldn't have done that. They know they messed themselves up. And so let's see how they're going to come more in the... So we saw that more. It's like they want to work with you and things like that. Okay? I'm seeing there's like about 10% that is going to be more negative. So what I see is like ones that with that Six of Swords is like they're not going to come back at all. They're just going to talk shit about you. They're going to smear your name basically for the rest of their life. Those are the ones who it's basically almost like give it to God type thing, but it's almost like you're just a seed that is going to be planted for later, right? And that later could be at any time. It just depends on their own will and when they want to accept the fact of who they are, right? So it just would suck for these people that, they wait until they're very, very old, until the end of their life. That just sucks, But what I saw is 90% though, right? Five of Wands. Let's see. Yeah. So this is what you're going to be coming across, more people who are moving to try to confuse you. Okay. They want to gaslight you and things like that, okay? Doing things behind your back. And you can feel it. They feel, yep, look at it. Five of Wands with Judgment. Yeah, they feel judged by you, and so I see like with this five, there's, it is a group, like I told you, somebody's smearing you. There might be a group of people who you left, you know what I'm saying? There might be a group of people, like I said, say if you're in school, if you're in work or whatever, you're the odd man out type thing, They're going to try to confuse you for you to conform, and it's not going to work because look at, we got Judgment and the Hierophant. They feel judged by you. So they're going to, I'm hearing, apply the pressure just a little bit more, but it's not going to work, see? I'm hearing too late. I'm hearing maybe we can turn around, but it's not too late. A little, yeah. Yeah, those are some people who are again, they're trying to hold on, right? They're trying to have this relationship with you and not change, is what I'm hearing. And the only way that they can do it is by, again, it says right here, conformity. It says this is the card of your own values, your value system. They want you to question your value system. So what I'm hearing is they want you to question, you know, what I'm hearing is like your value in your relationships, right? So what that means is like, you know, they want you to lower your standards and who you accept into your life. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does make sense. Good, right? These people feel, but within that, what I'm seeing with the Judgment, you're going to see a lot of people exposing themselves right now, okay? A lot of people going to be exposing themselves. And why is this? Is because you're going to feel that confusion. Let that confusion know, or you know what else what I'm seeing is that some people saying that you're crazy, right? Here we go. Trying to make it seem like you're nuts. I'm also seeing people who play in black magic, right? A whole coven after your ass, right? And you not knowing which way your energy is being split in different ways. But I'm hearing not gonna work. Judgment. Yeah, there's two major arcanas here. I'm hearing it's a dawn. It's a dawning and a lot of exposure. So listen to your body and know that whenever you feel confused, whenever you feel like, should I go back or am I making a wrong decision? You shouldn't feel that way in a relationship without any concrete, like real evidence, right? You don't even know why you feel like you should, you know, keep a bond with this person or these people, right? No, everything should be out in the open. No unleft questions. You shouldn't be scared to even ask questions, right? If you feel like almost like you have to be sliding and groving, you know what I'm saying, in the relationship, that's a red flag, yo. That's a red flag. Got you. Yeah. Some of y'all like, really? See, I was wondering that. Yeah. Because you're sitting here because they sliding because you don't even know which way they're going because nothing is concrete, or they keep switching shit up on you, right? Somebody's trying to say that you're crazy. There's people trying to come for your values. I'm hearing your spirituality and your guidance. They feel exposed, is what I'm hearing. Somebody feels exposed by you standing in your power. But they want to come after you. Look at this. But they want your joy. They want your positivity. They want your vitality. You see that it says greed. Somebody is very arrogant about this. They really think that they can get you. Yeah, and look at this. We have the King of Pentacles clarified by the King of Cups. Yep. They're going to try to get you emotionally. And we see when we alchemize the Eight of Cups with the King of Cups in reverse, that's the Seven of Cups again. Yep. So let your confusion, let those negative emotions be an indicator of who you are dealing with at the time, and to just keep your boundaries with this person. Easy. They really want your, it's like almost like you're the it's like they want your attention on, I'm hearing yo-yoing, your emotions yo-yoing with the relationship, trying to question everything. Yep. So we see this is just gaslighting, and somebody is not going to let up. And when we see those kings as well, that means that this is somebody, again, they know exactly what they're doing. I could see that if we had pages in there, but it goes with the channeling. Whoever this is, they always been doing this. It's like what Greg Hotley says, right? The organism does what the organism has always done to feed itself. And so it's almost like, what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, trying to expect different results. And that's what I see with these people. They're like, no, this has worked so many times with so many other people. It will work on you. It will work on you. But within that, it's exposure. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Like I'm seeing is like, I'm speaking to some people who are podcasters is what I'm hearing, people who have platforms as well, and you're gonna have some receipts for these motherfuckers. Wow. Yeah. And then what I'm hearing is because it's like they're not seeing the bigger picture is what I'm hearing. Okay, you're gonna get receipts in different ways. There's too many of y'all, but definitely things in the 3D, because that paradigm is done is what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that you are healing, or you are healed from gaslighting, the gaslighting of your reality, because of betrayal, manipulation, and literal gaslighting, right? You're not questioning anymore how people move. You're also learning to detach as well, right? It's not that you don't feel bad. It's not that you don't love these people. It's just that this is self-preservation now, right? And you have every right to do that. All right. So now what I'm seeing here is to give you guys an animal to let you know, because it's going to be like a little rough here. You're going to have some people coming at you, gaslighting you. Just know that it's a fucking lie, okay? Everything is a lie. They can't do shit to you. There's nothing that they can do. Also, their fake empathy is fake. You'll feel it. You're gonna feel it. I'm hearing a lot of guilt tripping. People are gonna try to guilt trip you. Remember that induced conversation, so that's baiting. All right, just pay attention to any types of confusion. That's what I'm hearing. Any types of confusion, any types of thoughts that when it comes to a person where you're sitting here attacking yourself and you're like, it's got to be me. I'm just looking into things too deeply. I've always had some messed up relationships, and so it must be me. Now I'm paranoid. Nope, not paranoid. It's just that you dealt with this before and your body's letting you know. No, you're right on time. You're right on track, all right? And so with that being said, you're going to get this animal here. And this animal, what this animal is basically, it's your guides, it's the universe, the laws of attraction, letting you know that you're actually on the right track. You're doing better than you think, okay? The people who are doing shadow work, all right? You're almost at the end, okay? Like what I'm seeing is the World card, okay? What I'm seeing is for the others here is that the World card as well. The World card and the Death card, okay? It's over. Sometimes just as an adult, you got to make those hard decisions like Jill Wise said, right? Also, like I said, take a look at the code. All right. So with this animal, what I'm getting is these are some traits that are going to carry you through. What I'm hearing is the opposite traits is how you know that these people are the ops, is what I'm hearing, because this is what they're going to attack the most. So look out for tigers, all right? So this symbology with the tigers, it's not just on your phone. This is in your everyday, and they're going to jump out at you, all right? There's no reason to look for a tiger because it's going to resonate. I'm seeing some of y'all, you're going to freak out a little bit, but remember, in that freaking out, right, that's just your mind and your spirit fighting against each other. That's your spirit telling you like, yeah, we're on track. And the mind, remember the conditioning what we were talking about for you to be scared of this type of stuff, all right? So listen to your intuition, all right? And then over time, your mind will catch up with that, and you will know that all it is just a synchronicity to let you know that you're doing better than you think, right? The Matrix is just trying to matrix you, give you those experiences. What you can look at those experiences is more as an elevation. It's also a test of your integrity, right? Okay? Because that's what I'm seeing is like, so people, like, they really do, they want to play in your face is what I'm hearing, confusing you. All right. And so that's what they're seeing. Accept your magnificence. All right. So that's what they're going to be. I'm hearing, how dare you stand in your strength? How dare you stand in your power is what I'm hearing. This is first house stuff. How dare you be you? How dare you see me for who I am? How dare you walk away from me? How dare you walk away from me and shine a light on the fact that I don't do well in relationships? How dare you make me see that about myself is what I'm hearing. See, you're not the best person yourself. Look at the way I'm seeing the Hierophant. Look at the way that you think. Look at your values. Your values are fucked up, not mine. But hey, do you still want to be friends? Hey, do you still want to have this bond though? Even though you're horrible, but do you still want to have this? That's what I'm seeing for these motherfuckers. Anyway. Tigers come from Orion, y'all. They carry much wisdom in their auras. So there's a lot of people that are going to be coming for your wisdom, okay? That's what it is, right? You're the wise man, the wise woman of the village, right? Right? And we saw that Ace of Pentacles. They want to manifest off of you. All right? It says they are powerful beings spiritually as well as physically and are extremely psychic. Okay? So you guys are extremely psychic. That's why they want to confuse you. All right? Their soul, and that's why I was seeing they want to play in your face. They're like, can we trick the Divine One is what I'm seeing for a lot of people, and that's where that Seven of Cups kept coming out. They want to confuse you. I'm seeing a foe disguised as a friend. All right, and this can play out in any way. All right, it says their sole mission is to watch over and guard the planet from lower energies approaching us. Their roars not only alert other creatures to their boundaries, but send a warning out into space. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing is like for people who have been working with their abilities, connecting with their angels and things like that. You are highly protected. You are highly being guided at this time. You have been guided, your whole life. That's the best way to put it. And they still want you to connect with that. And that's what one of the reasons why what's coming in for you guys, or what's been happening, why there have been gaslighting and stuff, is for you to disconnect from that. What I'm seeing is that for 100% of everybody who's watching this, you guys are highly spiritual. You're highly, like, you're mediums is what it's called, okay? And not just mediums for higher beings, as they would say, or aliens, or whatever, angels, whatever you want to say it, but you're a medium for just energy itself. And so with this confusion, these people don't want you to be able to decipher their intentions within those vibrations, okay? All right, but you're sending out a warning into space is what I'm hearing, is that people are feeling your motherfucking power is what I'm hearing, and they want to knock you off of it is what I'm hearing, okay? But how are they doing it? What I'm seeing is Chiron in the third house, however that plays out. So you could look in your birth chart, but for those people who don't know the overall energy of Chiron in the third house, is that they're messing with your faculties, bruh. Gaslighting. That's the best way to put it. Passive aggressiveness, covert tactics, all right? But it's so weird. What I'm seeing is how they still want to be attached to you, though. Wow. That is so fucking weird, right? And this is because you are who you are. Who doesn't want to be attached to somebody like this, right? Who doesn't want somebody like that in their tribe, and somebody who's very psychic as well, all right? It says you raise that's what it is. You raise the frequency in the area, right? We saw the sun card. You're the sun, okay? Right? Your positivity, your joy, your success, and they want a piece of that. But they also, again, as they would say, is like just demon attachments, just demon attachments they got. It says no two tigers have the same patterns of stripes, so each one is unique. They are unusual in the feline kingdom, for they are learning to enjoy water and even catch fish so that they can take this new understanding back to Orion. So what I'm seeing is that you're as they say, you're very, very unique, okay? It's like, what I'm seeing is like, you look like every type of human, but there's something about your frequency, there's something about and your vibration, the power that you put behind, the intention that you put behind your behaviors and your actions that make you so different. That's what the stripes are, right? The stripes are your vibration, okay? You're so different. All right, so here's some guidance, okay? It says this card comes to remind you that you are a unique and magnificent person, so accept this, okay? All right. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. So people, again, with that Hierophant, you're so different. You're not following the rules, right? With that trickster. All right. Don't let them trick you. all right? It says accept this, all right? It asks you to tune psychically into a situation or relationship that's troubling you. Isn't that what we were talking about, right? It says trust your inner knowing to present you with the answers you are seeking. Then listen to your wisdom, as this will reveal to you how to handle the person or circumstance for the highest good. All right? It says the tiger energy tells you to be prepared to act decisively with strength and power. Give me 1 second. However, you may not even need to take action, because when you have a tiger in your energy field, other people sense it. Isn't that what we were talking about? And respond with respect. Okay, that's what I was saying, is like they want to play in your face. That's why they're fucking cowards. They're cowards. All right, it says the tiger card, I'm seeing also from the behavior panel, they want to do like what is called duper's delight. They want to be able to play in your face, you not knowing that there's a foe right in front of you, right? But you're gonna know because you're psychic. What I'm seeing too, again, for the spiritual people, the people who say, you know, who are out there with it, they're messing with your gifts, right? They're like, let's see how psychic you are, right? And you're not. They're gonna fall in their own trap. Yo, it says the tiger god also advises you to expand your own horizons, develop something new in your life which you can learn to enjoy. Okay, all right. And what I'm hearing is like that's just peace. All right. So we're gonna get the fairy cards. I'm gonna let you go. What you can enjoy. Ooh, shit. What you can enjoy. I gotta go. What you can enjoy here is what we got here. Okay. This is what you can enjoy. Abundance. All right, it says enjoy your harvest, enjoy the hard work that you've been putting into not only yourself to develop this gift, this psychic gift, but also the personal growth that you had to detect and to heal from these types of relationships, and to also detect when people are basically playing in your face, when people are just using you. Okay, all right. It says, you know, enjoy your harvest, enjoy abundance, right? You know, be grateful for where you are today, all right? The work that you have done, the ability that you can sense and see these things, all right? Security in the fact that, you know, stand in your own power, all right? It says impatience, all right? Let things play out the way that they're meant to play out. What I'm seeing right there is it says in the tiger card that you don't even have to move, bruh. You don't even have to move in this one. Just sit back and eat your popcorn, as they would say. People, and I'm hearing all will be revealed. They're going to reveal themselves more now than ever. And I'm hearing why is that is because they're desperate. They're desperate for your attention. They're desperate for your energy, because one, they're not getting it anymore. They're starving is what I'm hearing. But also two is the fact that they know it's done. Remember I said the death card, right? So I'm hearing just one more chance is what I'm hearing from some people, and then for others they want to it's like almost what I'm hearing is like, oh, you won't leave me. So remember how it says, how do we get here? So some relationships who you thought that, you know, this person was for you, you really like them, they're gonna reveal that they're an op and stuff like that, and that's for you to walk away. But with that, what I'm hearing is that harvest right there, when you do this, when you completely walk away physically, or as we see with the shadow work, all right, you're gonna get some not only epiphanies, but I'm getting like literally harvest. Okay, you're gonna get people that are coming into your life that are amazing, all right, that are gonna give you what you wanted, okay, in relationships, all right? So that's all I got for right now. I'll see you next time, all right? Thank you for letting me be your guide. Dipsy!